all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what they mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. You still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, let them keep the score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet pointed car.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause I like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Cleveland Browns. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Shift. Hey, alert 33. Pilot, 6.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Alert, 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 alert.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Come on. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. Incomplete. Both players were there offensively and defensively, but it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Running from the gun with Henry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards that time, and a Bills 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bills shaken up on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Allen's throw is complete, and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 41-yard line. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 41. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills 1st down.
Check 53 front. Check 53 front. Don't get nervous. 56, 56.
On 1st down, Allen. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Watch 36. Hey, line 7. Line 36. Line 36. Go.
Throwing again. Allen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Allen off the play fake. And he gets it to Funchess, complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We're scoreless after 1. Allen. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, Mayfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Devin Funchess. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board first here tonight.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Hey, Pistol. Mike 51. Hey, Zoo. Watch the pass. Mike 51.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
319. Mike 36.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, if you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Operating from the red zone now, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Devin Funches with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it?
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Henry. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call, so they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's forced out right. He'll run it. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mayfield looks to throw. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead. Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
And again, it's Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on. Here's what...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The kick by Elliott is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Again, they run with Gurley. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Mayfield on 3rd down from his end zone. And now here is another interception. Able to get there and pick it. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. Gates, the intended receiver there. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try to run for it with Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, they have had success when he keeps the ball in the option, but not there. I mean, you just saw exactly why many old NFL coaches would say, don't use your quarterback in the running game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 30 on second down, Mayfield.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a third and long now after the sack. Mayfield from the gun on third down. He's going to air one out. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
The Bills take over first down at the 49-yard line.
Mike 19! 53, Mike. Hey, home. Watch the ball. Here we go.
On first down, Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Derrick Henry. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Watch the boot.
On second down, this is Harris. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
A gain of 13 yards.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are off to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. First down, and they go back to Harris. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be second and goal now. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll give Henry another shot. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Allen taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? It's nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield going to let this, and got his man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Finding Knox there, complete. That'll go as a pickup of 8. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
I'm going to hit you all.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And the busy night for Henry continues. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Henry. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it.
And my goodness, another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
I'm here all day.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I do a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now I can juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic.